Horse's radio and television service presents the Bob Hope Show with Les Brown and his band of renown, and yours truly, Bill Goodwin. And now here he is, Bob Hope.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been busy this week going around to department stores and autographing copies of my new book, Have Tux Will Travel. I sign the book, wrap it for you, and for an extra 50 cents, I come to your house and massage your eyeballs while you read it. But the book has been getting wonderful reviews. One critic said, Bob Hope is to literature what Spike Jones is to music. But it's wonderful to be a successful author. I know I'm a success because I passed the delicatessen department of the May Company and they had my name spelled out in salamis. But a lot of celebrities are writing books. Gypsy Rose Lee has a book coming out soon. Watch for it at your bookstore. It'll be the one without covers. And Gina Lola Brigida has just finished a book. It's called The Second Most Beautiful Girl in the World. It's about Marilyn Monroe. Even King Farouk is writing his memoirs, but it'll be years before the book is out. He's still busy doing the research. But it'll be quite a book. It isn't out yet, and already it's been banned in Boston. Elizabeth Taylor and Grace Kelly bought copies of my book, and you know who asked me to autograph it for her? Marjorie Mays. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, here's our guest for the evening, one of our really talented stars who gives an award-winning performance every time she appears, Miss Claire Trevor.
Oh, that was very nice. I didn't expect such a fancy introduction.
Would you like to say something about my acting?
No.
Thank you.
Oh, Bob, I'm only joking. I think you're a wonderful actor, but why all this bouquet tossing?
Well, we like to have a friendly spirit in this show, Claire, while we can. Later we talk about money. But Claire, I've been trying to get you on the show ever since I saw you in that wonderful picture, The High and the Mighty.
Oh, do you like it, Bob?
Oh, but the title fooled me, The High and the Mighty. I thought it was Howard Hughes' life story.
You know, it was a gripping picture, Bob. A big airliner out over the ocean, almost out of gas, helpless, about to fall into the sea. And as the minutes went by, the passengers became more and more terrified. Have you ever seen someone go to pieces from sheer panic? It's a horrible sight.
I know. Once in the Brown Derby, I saw Jack Benny get stuck with a check. It was awful. He fainted twice on his way to Abbey Rents.
I thought John Wayne gave a fine performance as the pilot of the plane.
Oh, I could have done just as well, Claire, except height bothers me. I can't stand the slightest altitude.
Oh, come on now. Everyone can stand a little altitude.
Not me. Last week I blacked out just wearing a pair of Dr. Scholl's corn pads.
You know, Bob, the real story of the picture is how the passengers and crew of the plane behave when all hope is gone. Just when they think they're living their last few minutes on Earth.
You know, that sounds like my type of thing. Stark drama.
Yes.
Let's try it, Claire. Why don't we do our own airplane story right now?
I'm ready.
Music, Les.
We take you to Hawaii, crossroads of the Pacific, and the Honolulu airport where giant airliners arrive and depart. Our story tonight concerns the fate of one of these airliners, its passengers, and its crew.
How do you do? I'm Captain Hope, the most experienced, the most reliable, and I guess the luckiest pilot in the line. In 16 years, I've never had a crash, never hit the silk, never lost a passenger. The only casualty I ever had was the time I got a broken arm, a slight concussion, and 6 fractured ribs. How was I to know the stewardess was married? I love my job. I was born to fly. In fact, the stork didn't bring me. I was delivered by North American Airlines. All my family is interested in aviation. My father used to fly, too, until Mother hit his bottle. Right now, I'm flying the overseas run from here in Honolulu across the Pacific to San Francisco, 2,400 miles over open ocean. I'm not nervous, but just in case, I bring along a parachute, water wings, swim fins, emergency flares, a rubber raft, shark repellent, and a Bible. With all my equipment, I look like Florence Chadwick's supply ship.
Flight 87 to San Francisco will be departing in 5 minutes. All aboard, please.
Well, that's me. I've made this flight 100 times, but tonight there's something in the air, or foreboding, a feeling that something's going to happen, that something's going to break loose. I had this feeling once before when I saw Jackie Gleason bend over in a tight suit. I guess it's just nerves. Well, I'll go in the briefing room and pick up my flight plan. What's the weather, Mac?
Well, come over to this wall map and I'll show you. Now, there's a disturbance up here in the Aleutians with an occluded front moving in on these isobars, affecting the north to south concentric currents of the polar air mass with a corresponding west to east barometric inversion.
What does all that mean?
There'll be light smudging tonight in Pomona.
Well, I'm taking Flight 87 tonight. Give me my course to San Francisco.
Okay, take off to northeast. Course for first hour, north-northeast. Second hour, northeast by east. Then east by northeast, 2 points northeast until you reach latitude 51, longitude 47. Then straight east, northeast. You got it?
Got it. Now tell me one thing.
What's that?
Where is San Francisco?
Well, so long, Captain.
So long.
Have a good flight.
Oh, I will. I never have an accident of any kind because I'm always alert, wide awake. I keep my eyes open. Oops.
What happened?
I tripped over the weighing machine. I walked out to the plane. The passengers were getting aboard. One of them spoke to me.
Oh, Captain.
I turned and looked at her. She was a beautiful blonde with a gorgeous figure, an expensive mink coat, and lovely blue eyes thrown casually over her shoulders.
Captain, this is my first plane trip, Captain, and I'm so nervous. Will we have a nice, smooth flight tonight?
Don't you worry about a thing, ma'am. It's a cinch. It's a breeze. Nothing to it.
But all night, flying over that ocean, nothing but ocean and more ocean. How can you be so happy and carefree about it?
I'm not going. I'm taking the train.
You know, Captain, you're really cute.
Definitely.
You're a very handsome pilot.
Thanks, but really I was nothing till I took the wire out of my cap.
What is that perfume?
Taboo.
Taboo?
Yeah, I always like to be at my best.
How much did you put on?
Only a pint. If I'm ever forced down, they can locate me by the smell.
Oh, I can't wait to get started. How soon will you be taking off?
Oh, any minute now. You taking a vacation trip?
No, I'm going away because I'm so mixed up. I've just got to think things out. I've got to decide between Harry and Phil. And then there's Herman, the oil man, and Joe. Joe wants me to marry him and live on a sheep ranch in Australia. I guess I would marry him if it weren't for Henry and Roger and then there's Tom and Bill and Matt. And then, of course, there's Ned and George and Pete and Ralph and Sam and Freddie and Jerry and Jim and Homer.
You've just been listening to the radio version of The Long Gray Line. Where do you have your dates? In the Hollywood Bowl?
You can see why I'm mixed up, can't you? They're all in love with me, and I can only marry one of them.
Yeah, it might be a little less crowded. In the morning, your breakfast nook would look like the mess hall at Camp Pendleton.
When I decide on one of them, it's going to be an awful problem. I mean, how could I tell all the others that they're through?
Easy. Have it announced on the Arthur Godfrey Show.
Now loading Flight 87, gate number 3. All aboard.
Well, you'd better get on the plane, ma'am.
Oh, Captain, when we're in the air, will you stop by once in a while? I feel so unwanted and alone and all by myself.
Sure I will. Let's get aboard.
I'll just say goodbye to a few of my friends who came down to see me off. Goodbye, fellows.
Why do I always meet the wallflowers?
And so, Flight 87 prepares to take off from Honolulu on what seems to be an ordinary routine flight. The passengers are settling in their seats.
Good evening, folks. This is your pilot saying welcome aboard. We're taking off to the south tonight. In about 3 minutes, you'll be able to see Diamond Head, the Royal Hawaiian Hotel, and if the moon is out, you'll get a lovely view of Hilo Hattie. Then you'll be able to see the islands of Oahu, Maui, Molokai, and Yucca Flats. It arrived here right after the last A-bomb test. We have a tailwind of 30 miles an hour tonight, folks, so we expect to make a nice, smooth crossing. The stewardess will serve you a little snack after we're aloft, and for heaven's sakes, drink plenty of milk. I'm always working. Thanks, folks. You'll be hearing from me later. Motors sound okay. How are you tonight, Bill?
Fine, Captain, but I don't quite understand this flight map.
Well, it's simple enough. A straight line to Frisco.
Well, what's this curve on the map here? It takes us 800 or 900 miles off our course.
Oh, that's a piece of spaghetti. I had my lunch wrapped in it.
I wish you'd stop wrapping your lunch in the flight map.
Yeah, I got to remember that. Last week I brought pretzels, and it took us 2 days to get out of the airport. Hand me those earphones.
Flight 87, cleared for runway 6.
Roger.
See, you know, I hate taking off from this runway. That big palm tree at the end always scares me. I'm never sure we're going to clear the top of it.
With me at the controls, I'll clear that palm tree by 100 feet. Well, we're up. We're going right up over that palm tree. We're almost over it. Almost. Ah, we made it. Have a coconut? Here is Margaret Whiting from the Capital Gang, assisted by Les Brown and his orchestra doing Tweedle Dee. Margaret Whiting.
Tweedly, tweedly, tweedly dee. I'm as happy as can be. Jiminy Cricket, Jiminy Jack, you make my heart go clickety-clack. Tweedly, tweedly, tweedly dee. Tweedly dee, tweedly dee. Give it up, give your love to me. Well, tweedly dot, tweedly dot. Gimme all the love you got. Oh, humpty ump bump bump, tweedly, tweedly, tweedly dum. I'm a lucky so-and-so. Hubba, honey-do. I'm gonna keep my eyes on you. Tweedly, tweedly, tweedly dum. Give your love to me. Oh, tweedly-dot, tweedly-dot. Gimme all the love you've got. Oh, humpty ump bump bump, tweedly, tweedly, tweedly dee. You're as sweet as bubble gum. Well, mercy, pudding and pie. You got something that money can't buy. Tweedly, tweedly, tweedly dum. Tweedly dum. I love that tweedly dum. Tweedly, tweedly dee, tweedly dum.
This is Bill Goodwin. You know, someone once said humor's the true democracy. And that's why we Americans can smile when we tell the stories of the legendary heroes who helped to build our country's great institutions and industries. Like John Darling, who was originally a boatman on the Erie Canal. But as people began to move farther and farther west, John moved right along with them. And it wasn't any time at all before he became the champion of the American farmers. One morning, John was re-shingling the barn. A heavy fog rolled in, but John kept right on shingling till noon. While he was having lunch, the sun came out, and John discovered he had laid the shingled roof 40 feet above the rest of the barn. Now, another time, the farmers were going through a cold winter. In fact, it was so cold that the smoke from John's fireplace wouldn't draw up the chimney, so he whittled himself a paddle, held it in the fireplace under the smoke, and began to fan the smoke up the chimney. After he'd sat there for a while, paddling and singing, he noticed the paddle was getting hard to lift. When he investigated, he found that the cold weather had frozen the smoke as it came out the chimney and turned it into a solid column 96 feet up in the air. In the spring, the smoke melted, and as John plowed the field, he could hear singing coming out of the melting smoke. The songs he had sung the winter before while he was paddling. That was the same spring, by the way, John accidentally broke a bottle of growing tonic which he had concocted. The stuff soaked down into the wheat field, and when John woke up the next morning, he discovered that his wheat had grown as high as the rooftop. Now, of course, you know that story must be true, because the farmers of the Midwest grow the tallest and healthiest wheat in the world. Yes, sir, it is a democracy which lets us tell stories of our legendary heroes with a twinkle in our eyes and a chuckle in our throats. And so long as we continue to laugh together as a people, ladies and gentlemen, we will live together as a nation. It is 3 hours later. The plane drones through the night high over the ocean. In the warm, brightly lighted cabin, the passengers have made themselves comfortable. Some are dozing, some are reading, some are chatting.
I had some close shaves during the war, but this was the roughest of all. It was horrible.
What happened, Captain?
Well, there I was over the enemy lines, both wings torn off my plane, propeller shot away, fuel tank blown to bits, my left engine on fire.
Oh, how awful.
Worse than that, I was all out of chiclets.
I say, Captain Hope, you must have been quite a hero.
Oh, I'll have to admit it, I was. I shot down a dozen planes.
Oh, then you were an ace.
One of the biggest.
Captain, did you win any decorations in the war?
Oh, I did all right. I won the Silver Star, bailed out of my plane over Germany, the Bronze Star, bailed out of my plane over Tokyo, and the Chrome Star.
Chrome Star?
I bailed out of my new Nash on the freeway.
You know, Captain, a girl could fall for a big, strong, handsome, brave pilot like you.
Really?
Yes, I think you're wonderful. You're the only man I've ever really admired.
Yeah, but what about Larry, Harry, Fred, Ned, and Ted? And all the rest?
Oh, they're just school chums.
What school did you go to, Notre Dame?
Captain, no one's looking in this direction. Take my lips. Take my lips.
What'll I do with him?
Come here and let me give you a kiss.
It's against the regulations.
But just one kiss, What's that?
The wings on my collar flapping.
Oh, Captain,
What is it, stewardess?
the co-pilot wants you up forward.
Be right there.
Captain, there's a terrible emergency.
Oh, no. Relax. Be calm. Easy does it.
No, Captain, we won't be able to make it to San Francisco. The gas gauge, the needle points to empty. I'll figure it out. Where's the flight map?
I just swallowed it.
Did you hear that? The tanks are almost empty. What'll we do?
Quick, see if the emergency tanks have any gas in them.
Yeah, I can tell by rapping on them. Empty. Empty. Listen.
Don't get your hopes up. That's where I keep my laundry. You stay here. I'll tell the passengers. Folks, this is an emergency.
What's the matter?
Well, we're almost out of gas. We're losing altitude. We can stay up a little longer if we lighten the plane. We have to throw everything out. Luggage, seats, all the useless junk goes overboard right now. No, you fools. Put me down. Listen to that. Then I have to pick this week to send my parachute to the cleaners.
And I thought you were a hero. You're no hero. You know what you are? You're a sniveling, lily-livered, miserable, yellow, low-down, chicken-hearted, cowardly, crawling worm.
Just what are you trying to say?
Captain, this is your plane. It's up to you to save it. Get on the radio and call for help.
The radio. Good thinking. If we go down in the ocean... If we go down in the ocean, you get the life preserver with the air in it. All the others are full of chiclets.
Captain, come quick. I've got the San Francisco airport on the radio.
Oh, good. Good. Hand me that code book. Hello, San Francisco Control Tower.
Roger.
Listen carefully. This is Flight 87 from Honolulu reporting Abel Baker Charlie Double Green emergency alert. The code is Cheese Blue PXRK Operation 33. Got all that?
Certainly. How do you want it, on white or red?
Oh, no. Listen, Kelowna, we're almost out of gas. We're losing altitude. Our engines are conking out, and our situation is very desperate.
Yes. Wish I could help you.
You wish you could help us. Why can't you?
On my lunch hour.
Kelowna, in a minute our plane will plunge in the ocean. We'll all be in the water. You hear me? We'll all be in the water.
Got plenty of towels?
Kelowna, you're the prize idiot of 1955.
That's quite a compliment coming from last year's winner.
Kelowna, get busy and do something for us.
I'd like to, but I have another emergency right here. I'm helping someone make a landing.
Oh, Professor.
Couldn't find a way through my mustache.
Professor, you're smooching with your girl while we're in desperate trouble?
Now, don't get wrong ideas. We're just playing checkers.
You're playing checkers?
That's right, Hope. Of course, some of the moves are pretty complicated.
Kelowna, how did you manage to become so stupid?
Deep breathing.
Captain, let me talk to him. Oh, Professor.
Yeah, who's that?
I'm one of the passengers, darling. Will you help us, please?
I'll be glad to, fair lady. Have no fear, we're dispatching a dog team immediately.
We're 100 miles out in the ocean. You're sending dogs?
Oh, it's all right. They're water spaniels. Hold on, Hope. I think I hear your plane now.
Yeah, we're near the airport, but it's so foggy we can't see a thing.
I'll guide you in, Hope. I'll send out a beam right from the control tower up to your plane.
A beam right from the control tower to our plane?
Yes. Now, just follow it in.
Okay, we're following it, Kelowna. We're following it. We're still following it. We're right on the beam, Professor.
Good.
Now get off my lap.
Starring Bob Hope and featuring the music of Les Brown and his band of renown, is written by Norman Sullivan and Charles Lee. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.